How come there's 3 counties in Georgia? Add 3 counties about. Tell me, there's 3 counties in Georgia, and tell me how they have 3 different ballots, and they're all for Joe Biden. Just magically popping up ballots for Joe Biden, ballots for Joe Biden. Just magically appear, Erick Erickson. Tell me how votes for Biden just magically appear. There's no ones for Trump. It's not a clerical error. It's not incompetence when it's all one way. Whether it's Georgia, whether it's Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, it's all one way. All the votes that were supposed to go to Trump went to Biden. There's no votes that went to Trump. It all went one way. This is rigged. It's not error. If it was error, it'd be like some states Trump would get votes he shouldn't have, and some other states it'd be Biden getting votes he shouldn't have. It's not clerical error. It's not incompetence, Erick Erickson. It's voter fraud. We need to find out, and we need to get rid of the bad votes and count the legal votes and toss out the illegal votes. But how you find ballots out of nowhere that they magically found that they're trying to hide? How are they able to hide these votes? And then all of a sudden now, there's votes all of a sudden. That's not right, man. You can't have votes all of a sudden coming out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden there's votes now. Where the hell did these votes come from? You know, they had no votes and now you have votes. This doesn't make sense. You go from no votes to votes. Now, I don't know how that's possible. And it's all one way. It's to Biden. It's not that Trump. Trump didn't prevent any of these errors. Whether it be Nevada, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, it doesn't go any but one way. Now, Trump can't win, but he can stop Biden from winning. If he doesn't get 270, then guess what? Neither one wins. And then they decide who it goes to. And if it's Trump, well, guess what? The country is going to lose their minds and go bananas and go crazy. They're going to burn down the country. That's what the leftists do. You know, it's like, would they sit there and suck it up? Would they sit there and stop whining like a man baby? Hey, Leonardo DeVaro, you know what? About man babies, but if somehow Trump comes back and winning, all these man-child babies you talk about, Navarro, is going to be your side. Because you joined the left now, phony Republican. You know, Leonardo DeVaro, CNN and the View host, yeah, whatever, man. But this is like fraud, man. They're finding ballots. They're going to get them. They had this irregularities in this machine and all changed it to Biden. So Biden gets the votes. And everyone's acting like there's no cheating here, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Well, there's plenty to see here, man. Plenty to see here. These votes are going to be figured out. And if Trump gets all these votes, then guess what? It could change enough to at least keep Biden from getting 270. Then it's a whole new ball game. You know what? But Erick Erickson's like, oh, it's just error. Too many places for it to be error and go one way. It's only going to benefit Biden in every place. And then Erick Erickson blames Trump for costing him the runoff election in January. It's not costing anyone the runoff election in January. It's somehow your incompetence down there in Georgia finding 3 boxes of ballots in 3 different counties, all going towards Biden. That's what's causing them to have lack of trust in the system and why they may not vote in the runoff election in January. It has nothing to do with Donald J. Trump whatsoever. It has nothing to do with Donald J. Trump. But you know what? You can sit there and believe what you want to, leftists. You can believe what you want to, leftists. But you know it's not true. You know it's not true. The Democrats are lying to you, my friends. You know, and so is Erick Erickson, apparently. You know what? This is some shady business because they want to win it by hook or by crook. justifies the means to the Democrats. Remember that. So they will cheat whatever. This is not something you put past them. They know what they're doing. Erick Erickson, this is not quick. This is not incompetence. They know what they're doing. They're trying to help to defeat Trump. And then California, New York people are trying to move to Georgia so they can affect that race in the runoff in January. Well, guess what? You're not going to plan to live there, then you're not going to be allowed to vote. But like I said, it does not matter because this is going to all be put out there. And if the courts dismiss it, well, it's because they want Biden to win. They refuse to be impartial. This is like they want him to win. They have no reason to rule in Trump's favor. It doesn't make any less true. Now, so we could be in the same room, but you don't necessarily have to be able to see the vote count. It's only you have to be able to be in the room. That's it. That's what they're saying in Pennsylvania. No, you actually got to be able to see it too. What's the point in that? You know, it's just stupid, man. They're trying to steal this race, and we cannot let it happen. Erick Erickson, you're wrong on this one, man. It's more in this critical error. Just fought all over the place, man. This is not good. These errors in this system that some states use, like Michigan and Wisconsin. This is voter error and stop, man. We need to sit there and stop the steal. Because if Biden doesn't get 270, then it goes straight to the House and they decide who it is, man, you know. But we just got to get it there, and then maybe it can be decided by us, man. If we don't control, we can put President Trump back in there. You know, because like I said, if no one gets 270, then it's up to whomever. But this is like Erick Erickson, you should be discredited because you're lying to protect the Republicans in Georgia while throwing the national Republicans under the bus. Like, what is Lindsey Graham and Newt Gingrich and all these other people think there could be some voter fraud going on and every way to make it count in there? Even Marco Rubio, I don't really like too much. Even he's standing up for Trump. You know what? Because he isn't even knows this is what it is. You know, Ted Cruz. It's like we need to sit there and let the process play out. And Al Gore had what? 37 days in 2000 for the hanging chads. They had 37 days. He had 37 days. But guess what? Oh, after only 5 days, they wanted Trump to concede. When you gave him 37 days, the process is happening. The process is playing out. He's not causing anything to happen. If they have incompetence, if they intentionally did it regardless of them finding three ballot boxes, that's the reason people may stay home in Georgia, not because of Donald J. Trump. You know, Trump isn't costing anyone the election, man. You need to push back on that, man, and say, you know, we need to look into this. And the three boxes appearing, that's troubling. And that's putting people concerns in why, what's the point if I vote if my vote gets lost in a box that's discovered 2 months later after the election's over? That's why they're not saying they're coming out and voting in a runoff. It's nothing to do with Donald J. Trump. It's wrong to sit there and blame this on Donald J. Trump. Oh, Trump's causing the election because he said there's fraud in Georgia. That might be. And why these three boxes magically appear and they're all for freaking Joe Biden? He benefits. Trump gets hardly any votes, if any at all. I mean, come on, man. This is what's happening in Nevada. This is what's happening in Michigan and Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. I mean, it's blue and freaking Atlanta. That's what makes it purple because the state is red. So red and blue together makes purple. So that is purple. So you wouldn't think they wouldn't be up to some chicanery? I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to do some chicanery stuff down there. And as far as Arizona goes, that's Sidney McCain's fault why we lost that state. I know we lost that one. But that's Sidney McCain. Sidney McCain caused the election to go south. But there's nothing we could do about that, you know, Sidney McCain. All we can do is stop Joe Biden from getting 270, and there's still a chance for us. But I don't understand what is going on, and this will all get sorted out. This election fraud, but this is election fraud. There is election fraud, my friends. Election fraud is happening. And we all know it's happening. and we're just gonna have to wait till it's proven. But election fraud is gonna come out. It's gonna come out, and we're going to discover it. We're going to discover it because the votes will show up for Trump magically hidden somewhere. And you know what? This is going to be whatever. They're not letting us look in there. They put paper bags up in the window so we can't look in to see the count, which we're entitled to. You know, they don't rule in our favor. We'll go to the Supreme Court then, because you want to rule for your own unjustified means. Do your activism from the bench and just say no to a recount? They won't even let us audit in some states. They won't let us audit. I think that the states should run the election and run their local elections and state elections. But if they're not going to do an audit and they're not going to let us, have an audit, then, I don't know what to do at that point. I mean, it's like I don't want the Washington to run it, but man, if they keep doing this, it may end up having no choice but to let Washington run it. Not that I like it, not that I support it, but we can't continue to have this election fraud and then them say, oh, you can't have a vote, you can't have a vote. If you can't have the vote, then we need to sit there and check this out. Because we got to be able to trust the count. We got to be able to trust the count and have a count. But the states are going to be extortionists from having a fair a recount and a fair assessment of the votes, then I don't know what we do. I know Mark Levin is big on this thing called Convention of States, but at least he's left the states, man. I don't know if I want him to have the power because they're making people's lives miserable. And they can move to another state and then they'll vote blue and turn our states blue. So I don't want them to move. They need to resolve it in their state, but it's not. And then maybe Washington, if at least we have the power, then maybe we can sit there and control this and we can stop the left from doing this. At least when the conservatives there, when the conservatives not there, who knows? But man, this is craziness, man. Just hope and pray, man, for the country. Because if Trump can turn this around, God, the country's gonna go bananas. If there's no 270 for Biden and they pick it in the House and it goes to Trump, God, this country's gonna go bananas, man. This country is going to go bananas. And this country is going to be turned upside down. Talking about man-child, man-baby, Navarro. Your left is going to be like a man-child, man-baby.